With eBay and other online platforms as a hobby and as a way to make a little extra money. Hello and thank you. I'm John Hauser. My channel is Free Advice, and I'm just here to tell you a little bit about some of my online selling experiences. I've had several people ask me recently, do I sell on eBay and how's it going and what about some of the other sites? So I want to share some experiences with you. First off, let me tell you, I have sold on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Poshmark, and I have done, like an in-the-driveway sale where people would come and pick things up. I've sold quite a few items. I want to talk about those this morning. First, let me go back a few years. I retired in 2018, and after retiring, I just needed a little something to do, so I started an eBay account. That was my first venture. And the very first month, I literally sold just one item. It was a video game. And it didn't sell for much, but it did sell. So after that, I began to do some investigating and trying to figure out what items would sell on eBay. Now, I did this strictly as a hobby. Yes, I made some money, and I had a lot of fun with it and still do. But I'm not at the professional level or the full-time level. I'm just strictly at the hobby level, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. What can be done if you're just doing it as a hobby? If you're retired, you want to pick up a little extra money. So the first thing I want to tell you about is my experience with Habitat for Humanity. Back early on, when I was first getting started, I would take my phone and I would check every item that I would see in a thrift store, and I would check those items to see what they were selling for on eBay. Now, it was time consuming. I'd find an item, I'd stand there and I'd check it, and then after I checked it, I'd possibly buy it and then list it and resell it. But I did check every item. So one afternoon, I pulled into one of my favorite thrift stores, and they had a clothing rack outside, and they had these American-made sweatshirts with hoods, commonly called hoodies, on the rack. And they had a bunch of them. And they were selling between $2 to $3.50. The ones with $3.50 were new with tags. I asked the manager how many of these did she have. She said she had so many of them they had not even counted them. They had all been donated in these crates. So I checked them on my eBay app to see what they were selling for, and I found that they were selling from $29 to $59 a piece. $29 to $59 a piece. And I could get them for an average price of around $3 each. So I bought them all. I bought every one that they had. My van was full. I had to make a second trip. My car was full. There were several hundred of these sweatshirts. And I mean a bunch of them. And so I took those sweatshirts home. I started listing them on eBay. I would list them either individually, or if there were several in one particular style and size, I'd list them as a multiple listing. And over the course of about 2 months, I ended up actually making a profit of around $4,000. That was after expenses. Now, that's a random event. You got to understand. That didn't happen every day. It's not every day you just walk into a thrift store and they happen to have 100 or 200 of one item they're trying to get rid of. It can happen, but it doesn't happen every day. It happened to me. I bought all of those sweatshirts. I worked my butt off for 2 months, listing them, photographing them, packing them up. I had some customers, they would order 3 at a time, 5 at a time, and buying them for the whole family. And I was shipping them all across the United States until I finally exhausted it. And as best as I can remember, I ended up making somewhere around $4,000 profit on those sweatshirts. That's after expenses and shipping and buying packing supplies, which they were easy to ship. You shoved them in a big envelope, printed out a label, and sent it on. So I ended up making about $4,000 on those items. But I do want to make this clear. Here is a book that I read some time back. The name of the book is Fooled by Randomness, The Hidden Role of Chance in the Markets and Life. It's by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. Great book. I've had this for several years, and I actually read this. I date my books on the inside when I read them. I actually read this April the 11th, 2010. And yeah, I read it in one day. It's a pretty good book. But he talks about being fooled by random events. And that's the thing about selling items on eBay or Poshmark or Facebook Marketplace, and I've sold on all of those, is you got to remember, sometimes the one item is the one item. You don't buy that one item at a thrift store today and go back and find that same item again. It rarely happens. Can happen, but it's rare. Okay, so anyhow, books. First I told you about the sweatshirts. Now I want to tell you about books. There is a local Methodist thrift store here in our town. I live in Wilson, North Carolina. It's at the Methodist Church, which is located at the corner of Ward and Nash Street. And they have a very nice thrift store there, and the people that run it are just phenomenal. Just great people. I walked in there one day and I saw a box of books sitting on the floor. And they get a lot of books. They don't know what to do with them. They just throw them away or recycle them. Who knows? But there was a box of books sitting on the floor, and I said to him, "How much for this box of books?" "I'll take the whole box." So they said, or we agreed on a price of $5. As I was, I see something up there. As I was going through this box of books, I found one book at the very bottom of the box that was printed in the 1840s. It was a very rare book. And this book, as it turns out, was valued at over $400. I took that book, put it on eBay. It sold within 30 days. And after the shipping, it went to France. After all the shipping, all the expenses, all the eBay fees, eBay getting their cut, I actually cleared on that one book $300. Again, a random event. But you won't know unless you go. You've got to go out there and look and see what's available and see what you can buy. I'll make a second video that will go along these lines. But if you want to sell stuff online or Facebook Marketplace, just go out and look around and see what's available. It's great for retired people.